Hey everyone, so in this video I was kind of thinking about something that I was asked. I was asked today to show my home lab setup and pretty much everything I've done so far and what I have. So I figured this would be pretty much the best way to do it is to make a video about it and kind of just showcase everything I have. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
Here we go.
Alrighty, so this is pretty much a photo of my home lab setup currently, how it looks. I just kind of want to go everything pretty much going clockwise here. We'll go everything one at a time. So for starters here, this is my home router up here in the top left. You can also see a zoomed in photo of it here on the right hand side. Basically, it's just nothing special. It's an Aries router. It's from my local ISP. On the back of it, it does have 4 ports for a switch. That's really all it has. So haven't upgraded to anything nice or anything fancy, but it'll do for now. So um, this big server down here, I have nicknamed Chungus. So that's the first connection you see up here. The HP tower computer right here, that's the second connection. Third connection is going to be my security cameras for the house, and then the fourth one is my game console in the bedroom. So working our way down this way, this is just a basic monitor and keyboard. Nothing really special there. Don't really have to talk about that. But right here on top of the server, this is an old HP laptop. So it does look like it's turned off, but I assure you it actually is on, and it does have power going to it right here. This is the charger for it, so it's constantly charging and it's constantly on. So the way I access it is on this is my home computer right here, my laptop. If I'm on my laptop, I can just open up AnyDesk, and with AnyDesk, I have it right here under HP laptop. So once I connect through here, so here you go. So the HP laptop, it's running Ubuntu. So let me just get logged in here. Okay. So once I load up in here, you can see these are pretty much the system monitoring right here. This is how the CPU is doing, how the RAM's doing, the network. The only thing I use this laptop for is to run a Plex server. So that's the only thing that this is for. Okay, so if I open up a terminal here, all I have to do is go ahead and run a NeoFetch, so I can show you the statistics of what the laptop has. So you can see here it's running Ubuntu 22.10, which is the latest version of the OS. It is an HP Pavilion laptop. The kernel is 5.19. Pretty much all the basics, running GNOME, everything you can think of. The CPU, this is the main reason why I'm running it as a Plex server. The CPU is an 11th gen Intel i5, the 1135 G7. So this CPU alone, the reason why I picked it for a Plex server is because of Intel QuickSync. So I'm able to utilize this laptop with hardware transcoding, and it allows me to transcode my media on the fly and be able to play all of my media very nicely. And also the laptop has an internal GPU, so it's running an Intel Tiger Lake, which this is basically the Iris Xe graphics. This is the graphics that is embedded inside of the CPU. So all of this is perfectly good. 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, so moving on away from the HP laptop, the next thing I want to talk about is what's underneath the HP laptop. So this is my big boy. This is what I have nicknamed Chungus. So Chungus is a 12 bay NAS pretty much. It's basically a home server that I've basically utilized as a network attached storage. So for Chungus, the operating system I have of choice is TrueNAS Scale. So if I get logged into TrueNAS here, you can see this is Chungus. Chungus is running an Intel CPU, It's an E5520. So this is a 4-core CPU. It is capable of housing 2 CPUs, but I just have one in there for right now. The RAM currently it's running a total of 15.6 gigabytes. And on Chungus, I'm running a ZFS pool, which I have nicknamed NAS. So the ZFS pool I have is built up of two VDIVs. Oh, if you look, this is the ZFS pool that I have for Chungus. So you can see here it's built up of two VDEVs. So VDEV number one is built up of 4 disks. Each disk is 1.36 terabytes. And then the second VDEV is about the same, 1.36 terabytes. So all in all, this VDEV is a RAID Z1, which means I can have one fault. This is a RAID Z1, which means I could have two faults. So in total, I could lose 2 drives and still not lose data. Okay, so if you go to this main screen right here under storage, this is pretty much my main ZFS pool. So you can see here I have 41.6% utilized. It did total out at 7.78 terabytes. I've used 3.24 of that. So pretty much what Chungus is for is Chungus stores all of my data. So you can see here I have an SMB share right here if I go under admin. So it is storing my data, which is all data from school and personal life and stuff like that, and also my media. So this is the media that is basically pointed to my Plex server, which is running on my HP laptop. So my movies and my TV shows and things like that, all of this is pointing to the HP laptop, and the HP laptop is running my Plex server. So now that we've discussed the NAS, let's go ahead and move on to the next best thing. So working our way back this way, this HP tower right here, this is basically my golden child. So we're going to talk about everything that's running on this HP tower right here. It's basically being utilized as a virtualization server. So if I open up my Google Chrome, you can see here that my homepage is actually running Heimdall. So Heimdall is a service that is being run on that HP computer. So if I click over here under Proxmox, Proxmox is the primary OS that is on that HP computer. So you can see here, these are all the services that are running on that HP computer. So starting from top to bottom, the first service is WireGuard. This is basically the Docker container that I made the video on about making WireGuard and having a VPN and being able to VPN into your services. Well, actually, ever since I made this video, I actually no longer use this container anymore. To tell you the truth, I haven't tore it down yet. I really don't know why I still run it. But eventually I will tear it down because I found a way better solution at doing this. I might make a video on it in the future, but I promise you it's better than WireGuard. Alright, so moving on to the second one. My second container right here, this is another Docker container. This is running my website. So this is just a simple Docker container that is hosting an NGINX Docker. It's basically what is hosting my website for business purposes. So if I click over here on my website, you can see here this is my personal website. So this is being hosted on the HP computer. The third one you can see here, that's Heimdall. So Heimdall is the service right here that basically is hosting all these tabs and everything. This is pretty much like my home page. This is also being serviced in a Docker container. The next up, this one is going to be another Docker container called FileShare. So what FileShare is, I have it over here. So FileShare is pingvin share, and basically what it is you can sign in right here. Once you sign in to Pingvin, basically you can drag and drop files into here, and what it does is it creates a URL that you can share with anybody, and with that URL they can go to that web address and they can download the files that you have uploaded here. So it's pretty much like an alternative to like Google Drive or things like that, or how sometimes you'll email large files. Basically, this is the alternative. It's a lot simpler. So next up on the list is the one of the most important ones. I will probably make a video about this later on. So far, there's been a lot of content creators out there making a video on this, but the next one I have named the door. So the door, if I come back over here to Heimdall, the door is basically Cloudflare tunnels. So Cloudflare tunnels has been basically redone on YouTube over and over by a lot of top name YouTubers. But basically what it is it's similar to a VPN, but what it allows you to do is it allows you to tunnel into your home network. So you can see here I have the door, which this is just a simple Docker container. So if I go to configure and public hostname, you can see here that these are all of my like web addresses, and they're all pointing to the local IP address on my home network. So all of these IP addresses are available only on my home network, but as long as these names point to it, I can access all of these URL names from anywhere, no matter where I am. So I can go, to another state and I can type in these web addresses and I will still be able to hit my home network. And all of it is being encrypted and it's being traveled through a tunnel that is accessed through Cloudflare. So all of that's being done without me having to do it myself. All right, so next up on the list is a virtual machine. The next two are, let's just say, kind of touchy topics, so I'm not going to really talk about them a whole lot. Let's just say they are for Plex. The encoder is basically a Windows virtual machine that is running Handbrake. So if you know anything about Handbrake, you know what Handbrake is for. It's basically to change your media type. So I use it to change my media from X265 to X.264. Or I'm sorry, H.264. So I basically use it to change my media. This last one down here, it is running Casa OS, but its primary purpose is actually to run QBittorrent, which you can see right here. And QBittorrent is utilized with private internet access. So there's actually a really good video out there by a YouTuber named DBTech. He did a video on how to do QBittorrent with private internet access. I believe he did it with um, Portainer, but this instance I basically did everything he did in Portainer, but I did it on Proxmox. So it's pretty much the same thing, allows you to torrent files and be hidden under a VPN. So I believe that pretty much wraps up every single thing. Um, I use other services on here like FlatHub. These are basically because I run Linux as my primary operating system. So I do a lot of Flatpak installs. Freenom is where I go to get my web addresses. That's where I got chungus.tk. Freenom is a really good one, especially if you want like a free web address. DuckDNS is another good one. I pretty much use both of those. Other than that, I mean, these bottom, I'm pretty sure they're pretty self-explanatory as to what they're for. But other than that, that's pretty much what I'm running in 2023. I hope you enjoyed, and just remember, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe.